Five, four, three, two, one.
There I am. Popped up and then I disappeared. Here I am. Good morning to you. Oh, happy Halloween. I even got my orange on, Fred. I got my orange on for the happy Halloween. Let me get my Facebook because we record it in the Facebook world. It's on the Brock Zevan's Motivational Mindset Coaching Group page. It is a private page, so if you want to click on it and go to it, I'll put it in the chat. So that way you don't miss anything. We do a lot of stuff. I put a lot of scripts in there. Right now I'm talking a lot about the interest rates because even though FOMC said they're going down 0.5%, they've gone up 0.75% since then. So working on scripts on that, 3, 2, 1 buy downs, all the fun stuff that we got on there, text messages, scripts, whatever it is that you want to help yourself in your business. So I only want to get that because we do record our shows. So that way you can go back, get the notes as well as the links. So I was a school teacher, Latrice. You know that for 12 years, taught a demanding curriculum, weight training, and PE. I was so good at weight training, very good at it, very good at it. And I could throw the basketballs out like no other, Alicia. I really could. And so I did that for 12 years, but I was a football coach. But I always like to have my cheat sheet here. So if you want the cheat sheet, if you want the holiday handlers, put double H inside the chats, and we will make sure. Doesn't mean that I won't take any notes, but I just like to share with you that I will give you my holiday handlers today at the end of the message. So if you see somebody on here, tell them to make sure they put HH, but can't even talk, Paul. And for those that are watching the recording too, we go back in and we follow up. So I was just trying to see where it is on Facebook. I know Jay's working on that. So good morning, everybody. My name is Coach Brock Zevan, life coach, business coach, real estate agent, and a DAD. And I've been practicing the holiday handlers now for close to 7 years. With these, I've had some really good success in December. Sometimes December, out of the last 7 years, I was running my numbers. Out of the 7 years, every December, I've had a minimum of two closings, and I would calculate out to 4.5 closings every December. 5 out of the last 7 years. And the average, I would say, I think was $42,000. And it catapults me going into January. Okay. In all honesty, it really takes the energy where most people, how many of you here, December and January are the worst months? It is terrible, right? How many of here have difficulty or heard difficulty in December and January? And it's just because it's the holidays. People aren't moving and shaking. They got every rhyme, reason, excuse known to whatever. They are just not selling. And I'm going to give you the objections today to help you overcome them, Sharon. Sharon down in Florida. She's not going to have any snow this holidays, but she's down in Miami. Let's do this too. Tell me where you're from. Our company, we do over about 78 referrals a year. But there could be somebody in here that could be a referring partner for you. How many of you would like to get a referral? I don't know about you, but I will take it. I love it. I love giving them out. So tell us where you're from as well. For those watching the recording, please make sure you do that because, like I said, we follow back up with you. Jay, are we putting it in the Facebook group or is my Facebook just not working here? Oh, there we are. We are. Okay. I just like to say, what's up, Yessie? Good morning, Rosario. Yessie, Michael, Jonathan. I just like to say hi to the Facebook. They get upset sometimes, Latrice. They get upset. Now, Dallas, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, hot Atlanta down there in Fred, Orlando, Tampa. A lot of southern people. 0 snow here. Yep. We got Florida, heavy Florida people. Well, thank you. God bless you, Florida. Florida is a little challenging right now. I'm feeling you. I hear you. But you're coming into a good season. You are coming into your season. So let us get started all. Now, I want you all to, when we do the holiday handlers, Tracy, when we do these, I want you to ask me questions, whether you're on video, not video, raise your hand, just shoot out whatever objection. Well, Brock, how would you handle this? What about this? What happens if they say, somebody said this to me, Fred? Somebody said this to me. Okay. There are some that are like, yeah, man, you're screwed. Yeah, I just don't know what to say. You're just gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait. Okay. But for the most part, this is actually one of the best times to sell. Okay. If not, this is also the best time to be able to build your pipeline so you can start to have a good 2025 season. Now, for those of you who've used this program before, you'd have to come up with a different email address. For those of you who haven't ever done this before, tomorrow is your best opportunity. I call it now money. Does anybody want to tell me what tomorrow is? Who wants to tell me what tomorrow is? Come on, somebody tell me what is tomorrow.
The beginning of the month?
Beginning
November
of the month?
1st.
November 1st. Very good. Paul's got it. Go look at Paul in the chat. Look at Paul in the chat. Got it. All right. All your expired count. Okay. If you want Arch Agent, if you want free expireds for the next 30 days, put AA in the chat. Put AA in the chat, and I will give you my Arch Agent free for 30 days. You will get this. So when you take a look at these, right here, you'll be able to apply them right away. Because there'll be expireds tomorrow who will give you these objections I'm going to give you today. So you can tell them, because there'll probably be an average in our country, in our area here in Charlotte, we will probably have, I got 2 Latrices now. This is how exciting Latrice is. She's like, I can't miss anything. And I have a twin down here. Okay. I want you all. Facebook, I need you to lean in, because they think because they're on Facebook that I can't talk to them. I can talk to you, Facebook peeps. Okay, you got to understand. Tomorrow is the day that they will give you these objections, and you could get business between now and the end of January because of how you handle these objections. So Arch Agent, our area will average about 80 to 85 new expires tomorrow. Okay. I can tell you it already started today. Let me just tell you, I'll just give you a run at this so you can, well, I have my Florida list because I have Florida people that I work with, but let me give you mine here in Charlotte because the Florida numbers are different. Okay. I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to just share with you right now so you can see my screen. So you know, I don't make this stuff up. Okay. Here's my Arch Agent. Okay. On the 29th, y'all see this? On the 29th, we had 12. Yesterday, we had 29. Today, we had 8. Okay. I'm not the greatest with numbers, but that's 49 if I can do my numbers quickly in my head. There's approximately 50 opportunities since the 29th. Okay. There will be an additional 80 expires that will hit on November 1st. Write this down. January 1st. Write down January 1st is the largest number of expires that will hit in the entire year. January 1st. The second is July 1st. Those are your 2 major ones. Why? Because all agents like to do things in 6-month increments, which I'm going to tell you right now to stop doing, and do your terms in 3 months. Do your terms in 3 months. Okay. You can't sell a house in 3 months, they should fire you anyways. That literally is my script. That is my line. And they like somebody who's got confidence going into it. They're like, I like that. Okay. You do it for 6 months. Like, why should it take you a job 6 months? Would you hire somebody to do your roof? It said this will take about 6 months. Like, wait a minute. It's supposed to take, I thought, maybe like 6 hours, 6 days tops. Okay. So if you're looking at that, and seeing tomorrow, you could take these strategies and implement them right away to be able to try to get some closings. Okay. Write down this. 2 closings is your goal. 2 closings is your goal. I'm going to encourage everybody 2 closings by the end of December using this strategy. Okay. We ready? I think I'm going to wait till after the holidays. Write that down. I'm going to wait till after the holidays. I'm gonna wait till after the holidays is what they're gonna tell you. I'm fed up. I'm tired. I just don't want to do it, Katie. I just am gonna wait till after the holidays, Kimberly. Wait till after the holidays. Okay, let me just share with you. All right. Or they say this, Fred. They say, does this hurt my decorating? I don't like, should I decorate? Should I not decorate? Like, I don't know. Do I like my first question when they say, should I decorate? How many of you have been to a house and it looks like Christmas just threw up all over it? And I say that night, there's just craziness going on. Okay. It's just like, holy smokes, like how do you even move in this? So, and then there's some homes that looks like it's in a magazine, right? Latrice, you get to some homes that looks like a magazine. So if they say to you, should I decorate? Don't say yes to them when you don't know what their decorating skills look like. Because you don't know what their house looks like because you're talking to them on the phone. Okay. Now, if you're at their house and you get into their house and it looks magnificent and looks beautiful, it's like, damn, this place, like, does anybody even move in here? Like, it looks amazing. Then I would say, yes, I would love to see your house decorated. I love what you have here. I can only imagine what the decor is going to look like during the holidays. And people are going to be attracted to that. One of my favorite lines, Latrice, yes or yes. Does the holidays make the house feel a little bit more warm, a little bit more homey, a little bit more loving? It feels good, right? How many of us have said after we take down all the Christmas decorations, like, damn, it looks bare. Like, boy, it looks like nothing's here, right? All so when they say, well, I'm just not too sure about decorating. Well, I don't know yet. You might be able to. Why don't I come by? I'm going to be in your house, or you're in your house. I'm going to be in your area tomorrow around 3 o'clock, or I can come after my appointment at 6. Guess what? I don't have an appointment in between that time, but I give them 2 options. That's important. If you didn't catch that, I'm going to be in your area tomorrow. It looks like I have an appointment that evening, so I can come at 3 o'clock beforehand, or I come at 6 o'clock. You give them options, not can I come or not? Because guess what they're going to probably say, Alicia? Well, no, not. I mean, you don't really have to. When you give them 3 or 6, it's just like they got to create their own no in their head, which they're very good at. So I try not to give them any more opportunities, Paul. So here's the thing: can you decorate? You certainly can. Tell me a little. Do you have any pictures of your decorating, or better yet, I'm going to be in your area tomorrow. I got an appointment there around there in the evening. How about I come at 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock? Then I can really tell you whether or not you can decorate. A lot of people do like to decorate, and it looks really good. Homes feel warm. They feel very homey. Okay. So that's how I handle the decorating. When they say they want to wait till after spring, Fred, and they say, you know what? It's been hell, man. I've hated showing. I've been showing my homes since what? July, summertime. Okay. Think back 3 months, 6 months. Is it fair to say some of them could have started this in May? Some of this could have started this in June. These listings, know your calendar. It's been terrible. Kimberly, it has been terrible. I want nothing to do with it on the holidays. I want to enjoy my family. I completely understand. That makes sense to me. Okay. These are the things you'll get off right off the get-go. These are the objections you get off right off the get-go that you got to embrace right away. It doesn't include some of the 13 that we got on here. I'm just telling you some of the things you're going to get, Sharon, right off the get-go on these. Okay. And they're going to spit this out to you. And then you got to go back to the fun. You got to go back to when they got excited to list their house. Is it fair to say, Fred, at some point when they put their house on the market for the first time, there was some excitement? There's like, you know what? I'm excited. We're taking the next step. We've been wanting to do this. I'm so happy. I can't wait. We're going to have our house sold and we're going to be moved into our new place by the end of summer. Honey, this is it. There was an excitement period. Now it's hell. It sucks. Terrible. Not where I want to be. Holidays are coming. Just not where. Let's take them back to excitementville. How do you do that, Latrice? How do you do that, AJ? Is you just say, hey, Talk to me a little bit about what was going on in May. When did you start to list your property? In June, okay. And you were trying to be where July, August? Take me back. So always, let's go back to Pleasantville. Let's go back to Positive Town. Let's go back to where high energy was. Okay. It helps the conversations, Claudia, moving forward. Because if you continue to probe them and to push them into an area you don't want to go, guess what? It's hard to convert. The holiday season, no joke, is it's an opportunity, Zena, but at the same token, it's a little bit more challenging because you're dealing with the season you can't control. You can't say to Fred, don't worry about it. We're just gonna get rid of Christmas. Not a problem. Right? If there's cluster in a house, I can we can clean things up. Yes, let's just move this stuff out and put it in the garage so that way it looks more open. We can't do that to the holiday. They are here. We have to handle them. Okay. So here's the one of the first lines. Well, I've given you several already. Is one of the main reasons why we like around the holidays where we've seen success is there's only really serious buyers. There's only serious buyer. There's not somebody like, you know what, honey, we got nothing else this evening. Let's go drive around and see. You know what? It's a beautiful day today. Let's just drive around and take a look at the leave or the some of the homes. Let's take a look at some of the open houses. Okay. These are serious buyers right now. Okay. What considers a serious buyer? Sometimes I say, and I'll get into this, but are we getting close that some people have to spend some money for taxes? Okay, there's some serious people who are like, I got to get rid of this money. I got to do something with my money for my taxes over here. Okay. When's the best time? Do you know when most relocation companies do their transfers? Right now, fourth quarter. Majority of relocation companies will do their transitions in the fourth quarter. So that way people know the school systems know when you go on break, whether you got kids in it or not, we need to educate them. Listen, Mr. and Mrs. So let me just tell you something. Atlanta right now is one of the greatest relocation areas because of our growth and our capacity. We have several different companies that are relocating. A lot of big time companies are doing this. And we know this because school stops actually December 22nd and picks up January 4th, which gives people 16 days to move. During this time period is the best opportunities. It's in between semesters. The school systems actually change a little bit of their schedules, so that way they have semester break. Colleges, high schools do this during this time period so they can make these transitions. So right now, I know maybe having a lot of showings is not exciting, but all we need is one showing to get your house sold and know that these are really serious buyers coming out here. Yes or yes. Do I sound like I know what I'm talking about? Do I sound like I know what I'm dealing with just because I study the school systems and I know the days? And then I use this line to elevate and separate yourself. I'm sure maybe some of the other real estate agents have probably told this to you already. I hate to repeat myself. I hate to repeat what you probably already know. And guess what they say? Yes, and because I was a teacher, helps out, and I have 2 young kids, so I know the schools. But I say this because you need to understand the schools. But it's important to understand all that you need to elevate and separate yourself. And when I say, well, I'm sure you probably heard this from the other agents. Guess what I'm hoping them to say, Alicia? Guess what I'm hoping them to say? What do you think, Latrice? Nobody else has mentioned this to me. Right, Kimberly? Nope, nobody else has said this to me. Wow, really? I mean, do you think this is important information for you to know? Does this help you out, make your decision right now? Yeah, I never really thought about it like that. That is the best line you can ever get when I never really thought about it like that. Right, Claudia? I've never heard that perspective before. Write this down. Give your audience a different perspective. Give your audience a different perspective. Paul, is it fair to say when you go to a football game, an athletic event, there's a different perspective, there's a different environment, there's a different emotion if you were sitting in the nosebleed seats compared to right there on the field or on the bench? Is there a different perspective on that? Is there a different feeling on that all? Would you agree? Yeah, right, Paul. Yeah, there is. There's a different perspective. So you just want to give somebody a different perspective. Well, like, let me just share this with you. Here's a strategy we have. All right. I use this line a lot. What is your plan? What is your strategy? What is your plan? What is your strategy? I learned this through Jim Rohn. What is your plan? What is your strategy? And then here's the tie down, Kimberly. Here's the tie down. Fred, I want you to follow it up with this. Would you be interested in hearing my plan? Would you be interested in a different strategy? Now you can attach this to the holiday word. Would you be interested in hearing my holiday plan? Would you be interested in hearing my holiday strategy? Okay. Now going into the spring to check their motivation right now, Alicia, to check their motivation. This is what I say, Claudia. I'd say to them, if they give me some negative, like, well, I'm not too sure. Okay. Well, how long do you want to stay on your plan then? How long do you want to stay on your plan? And Tracy, what we do at this point right here, Zena, is we then have to go back to the thermostat script when I say to them, and this all is in my book, all turning scripts into conversations, these strategies, these scripts, these formulas, they're all part of it. Okay. And we'll put that in the link too. But here's the important ingredient. You got to give the thermostat script when they say, well, how long do you want to stay on this plan for, Fred? How long is this? You guys got this mapped out? And guess what they mostly say? I don't know. We never really thought about that. What do you want to stay in this 30 days, 3 months, a year? Sorry, I closed the window. How long do you want to stay in this for? And give them a time period. Okay. Give them this time period so they can pick. It's like multiple choice. 3 days, 3 months, 3 years. Like, what are you thinking here? Okay. So we got some serious buyers. Here's the next one. Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Here's another really good thing. All right. The competition. This is a big one. Right? Do we have a lack of inventory problem? We have a lack of inventory like no other. And people want to wait till springtime. Why? Is because statistically, that's when everybody thinks that the market is going to boom and explode and everything else. Okay. The rates are supposed to ease a little bit eventually at some point. If you list your house, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, know your numbers in your subdivision, know your micro numbers. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, Fred, let me just tell you, you and your wife, let me just share this with you guys. I know that there's 399 homes in your community right here. Okay. There's only 2 listed. Of the 2 listings, and none of them have the same floor plan because none of them have a ranch home that you have. All right. Is it possible, Fred, that in March, when you want to list your home, are you the only ranch in this subdivision? I gotta believe no. If another ranch comes up and they're at a different price than your home, or that home shows better than your home, do we have a little bit of a challenge? Do you want to take that chance of the unknown, or do you want to stay focused in the known? So there's less competition right now, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. And I'd rather work on the knowns than the unknowns and take advantage, because wouldn't you like to have your house sold? I mean, the appreciation rate, what's everybody's appreciation rate? Know your appreciation rate. Write that down. That's your homework. What is my appreciation rate in my area? What is my appreciation rate in my area? Okay. Ours here in Charlotte is roughly about 5%. Average sale price in my area is about $412,000. Stay with me all on this math because this is how you get deals. This is how it happens. This is how I'm able to get people to sign faster. I know my appreciation rate's at 5%, the average day on the market, or you want to figure out your average price point in that subdivision. We're going to call it $412,000. My appreciation is at 5%. At 5%, that is $20,600. Now write this down. This is important. I'm going to divide that number into 12 because there's 12 months in a year. The appreciation value just doesn't hit within the year. It doesn't like, oh, it's the 11th month I've been here, 20 grand. It appreciates every month. So that's why I figure out what the monthly appreciation is based off of the micro numbers. So 412,000 at a 5% appreciation was 20 grand and change. Divide that into 12. Okay. Now I have $1,716. Stay with me when you give a different perspective, like Claudia says. Okay. This is how I get people to sign faster. This is very important. I want to wait until February. 4 months, November, December, January, February, times 4. $6,866. Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Do you want to take a chance on unknown for about $6,500? Do you want to take that chance? Because we want to list this house for $450, and if somebody comes in here at $425, that's a $25,000 difference. I'm just looking at $7,000. Which one would you rather have a loss, 25 or 7? And carrying costs for those months too, Alicia. Very good. Taxes, electricity. Okay. These things will help people. Well, guess what they're going to say, Claudia? You said it perfectly. I never looked at it from that perspective. I never looked at it like that. Well, that is what's helped me help sellers sell their house at the highest value in the least amount of time, doing things when people just don't really look at it like that. Okay. I never really thought about it like that. All right. So put a 5 in the chat if you're picking up something. Put a 5 in the chat if you're taking notes. If you got something, put a 5 in the chat if you get it. If you never really thought about it from this perspective as well. Okay. So there's less competition right now if we do it now. If we wait, there's a chance. I mean, for 7 grand, hell, I'll even work with you with my commission. I'm sure there's buyers out there now taking 2%. Okay. Yes or yes, there's buyer agents taking 2% right now. Okay. There's buyers agents taking 2%. 1% of 412,000 is 4 grand roughly. All right. You really want to wait? I said 6,500. So for 2,500 bucks, you want to wait till February? I can help you out. All right. Does that make it a little bit more smoother? Does that make it like, well, duh, that's a no-brainer. Alicia says it. I don't even know what your interest is. I don't know what your insurance is. I don't know what your taxes are. I don't know what your overhead is. Your electricity. Probably going to be a wash. Okay. Number 3, we talked about homes to show better. That's what we talked about the decorating. I gave you the stories earlier ahead of time. All right. Claudia uses this script. Good, Claudia. I love it. All right. Thank you, Yessie. Got people on the Facebook. All right. Now, here's another thing. Is it a slowdown period right now? We technically, if you look at this data, and I don't have my chart in front of me, but statistically, do our sales and our transactions go down usually November, December, January? You don't know, it is, yes. Right? They slow down. There's not as much out there as there is in the springtime. Okay. Does this mean there's any less money in the country? Does this mean that there's any less money in the mortgages? No. Okay. So now is a really good opportunity that mortgage people are bored out of their minds. So they got a little bit more time to be creative, to work on your job alone, your transaction alone. The mortgage industry has more time. They have more money. They can be creative. How many of you have heard this saying? Put a 3 in the chat. Have you heard the best time to buy a car is towards the end of the month? You got to get their numbers. They got to get their numbers in towards the end of the month. How many of you have heard the car dealerships? They always got to get their numbers at the end of the month, right? Okay. Mortgage brokers aren't any different. Gotta get our numbers. We gotta hit our numbers. We gotta how many deals you do? How many deals, right? You gotta get their numbers. Real estate agents, we should say that too, but we're just like, well, screw it. We'll wait till next month, right? Who keeps you accountable? Oh, that's a whole nother mindset accountability coaching. But who's holding you accountable? These dealerships, they do because these dealerships own the car. If you're not selling cars, guess what? You're gonna have a blue ticket waiting for you, a yellow ticket waiting for you. Like, see you, pack up your stuff, you're out. Right? Police gotta get those monthly, yeah, they gotta get their quota in for their tickets, their speeding tickets. Right? Gotta get that in too. All right. But there's more money available, not more money, but there's money available. There's time available for the mortgage industry. They could be creative. They're willing to negotiate a little bit more. Like, all right, listen, just shave. You know that they go behind the doors all, just like they did when once again the dealership, you're sitting down there and you're with your significant other, and they go like this. How many times have you heard this one? Like writing all this stuff. Let me go over here and talk to let me talk to the money people. Let me talk to them. I don't know what the hell they do over there. They probably just have a cup of coffee, just like BS, talk about the game. And then they come back and they're just like, just shave it, man. We'll just save it here, just cut them here, do this, do a half a point, just get the deal done. Get the deal done. Okay, they're going to do that more during this time period of the year. So you got better chances of having some success with the mortgage side of things. I told you lenders are usually they're a little bit faster, they're quicker. They want to get the deal in before Christmas. Know what day Christmas falls on. Most people aren't going to be working that last week of the year, so you got a really good chance to have a faster close in reference to that. We talked about vacation time, the 2-week time period during the school season. So mid-semester break, colleges usually have 3 weeks to a month off. High school, middle school, elementary school, all these kids usually have 2 weeks off during that time period. We talked about the next one I have is the relocation. Most companies, CEOs are relocating. This is a prime time for relocation that we have. Okay. I got relocation. Also look up top relocation companies. Look up some top relocation companies. The only thing you got to negotiate though is their referral splits that sometimes they have. But there are companies, like maybe there's a company in your area. All right. Fred's in Atlanta. Okay. Sharon's in Miami. Okay. Those areas, they could have some heavy relocation. Orlando, where Latrice is. Find out who's relocating, who does a lot of relocating go to ChatGPT, type it in, ask ChatGPT. What area in Atlanta, what company in Atlanta has the highest relocation transfer rate during December? Okay. Maybe it spits out 3 to 4 companies. Find out, I don't know, Chiquita Banana moved over here. I know that sounds silly, but they moved to here in the Charlotte. Amazon has moved into the Charlotte area. What is the human resource contact person for Amazon in Charlotte? I go call a human resources company. How you doing? My name is Brock Zevan. I'm a local real estate agent. Blessed and fortunate to be able to still be here. We know that there's a lot of changes in the real estate world. And I know your company is one of the top companies that relocate people in the month of December. And I just wanted to introduce myself to see if you had any referring partners or how I could get on your list. Yes or yes. Would you be upset if Chiquita Banana that you called last week called you up and said, hey, we want to give you that back. I'd like to give you an opportunity. We got somebody coming in from California. They're looking to buy. They sold their house and they got an extra $800,000 and they need to buy a house. I know Brad would not get upset. I know it. And I know neither would Latrice. Lisa would be like, man, that really worked. Okay. It won't work if you don't try. Okay. I think Derek Green on our motivational podcast show this morning says that if the person who puts out more offers get a better chance. But if you don't have any offers on the table, if you're not putting yourself out there, they don't know you. So find out about your relocation area. Find out about human resources. Ask them about their relocation partners. Okay. Buyers are a little bit more emotional right now. There's a lot going on during this time period of the year. There's a lot more emotion in here. Okay, we told you, honey, You told us that our family would be having Christmas in a different state, in a different house, in a different area. You told us this, please. Right? There's more emotion that's involved in it. All right. So emotion is another. We talk about taxes. Okay. Some people need to do 1099 before this year. Some people need a lot of things. Businesses were being sold in transitions during August and September. So they only have, I believe it's a 3-month quote, 180 days. Okay. I could be wrong. Somebody's probably going to say, no, Brock, that's not right. I just know they got a little bit of time. All right. And their time typically is usually before a seasonal year, which is January 1st. So they need to make some changes. They need to put out on some sort of offer on something. Okay. Put out a Facebook post. Go to ChatGPT. Type this in. ChatGPT. Acting as a real estate agent, create an engaging post on how to help 1099 buyers. Put a post out there. Anybody looking to purchase? See what ChatGPT puts out there. Put a call to action. Anybody in the Orlando area that needs help with 1099? Bloop, copy paste with ChatGPT. Put it in there. Or 1031 exchange, not 1099, 1031 exchange, sorry. Make sure you put 1031 exchange. Anybody need help with the 1031 exchange? If you don't know what a 1031 exchange is, guess what? Go to ChatGPT and type in the top 5 things that I need to know about a 1031 exchange. What's the time limit to a 1031 exchange? I'm pretty sure if you put a social media post out there, all right, go to investor groups, go to Facebook, go to investor Facebook groups, go to Atlanta investor groups, Atlanta wholesale groups, Atlanta 1031 exchange groups, Orlando 1031, Miami investor groups, and take your blurb and put it out there. I'm pretty sure you won't get upset if somebody calls you up and says, hey man, I'm glad you put that out there. I do need to get a house purchased. I need to buy a condo. I need to buy something. I saw your 1031 exchange. You will quickly become a 1031 exchange professional. I promise you. You'll be like, I'll study it. I'll learn it. And it's really not that complicated because all you got to do is get a 1031 attorney. And they draft the paperwork up because they got to do a couple different things. But outside of that there's no special 1031 offer to purchase paperwork, is there, Alicia? Is there, Tracy? There's no special paperwork. It's all the same thing. It's just an attorney has to add a couple things on how they're going to transfer their money and what they're going to do. Okay. Last but not least, and I'll open up the Q&A because it's 10:39, is you can remember this. Write down occupancy. Write down occupancy. Meaning you can negotiate occupancy. Possession before close, possession after close, typically possession after close. Really my last 3 deals all have had possession after close. Why? Because there's a lack of inventory and we have some opportunities. So we can negotiate. Sometimes it's not all about the money, it's time on how we do this. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you can listen. I understand. The other thing that you're going to hear people say, but I got family coming in. How many got family coming in during the holidays? Not a problem. Not a problem at all. 2 things you can do during the holidays on showings. 1, schedule it. Not a problem. Wouldn't work for you. You want to do it what time? When are they coming in? Oh, they're coming in the 22nd to the 26th. Yeah, you don't want to deal with that nonsense. And you probably don't want somebody on the 21st because you're probably going to be stressed out. So why don't we do the 20th? And why don't we give you an extra day? Since they leave the 26th, you're probably not going to be like, oh, damn, we got to clean the house or anything. Let's give you an extra day. Let's do the 27th starting after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. How does that sound? And give them a schedule. Give them an opportunity on that. All right. So you can put that into it. Next, with the scheduling, what was the other thing on the showings? The timing, the post occupancy that you can do, those are forms now that they have on there. And then there's something else with the showings, I thought. The timing, showings. I think that was it. Maybe it's just you can just know that you can schedule it. Oh, this was the other one. I knew I knew there was another one, Alicia. If you really want, we did this during COVID. Okay, because there's a gap of that 6 days. Most people are going to tell you 7 day window. In the 7 day window, if you want, when you do your listing and you do your paperwork, there's a lot of photographers all that are struggling just as much, right? Because there's not as many transactions. Okay. So what you do is you ask the photographer, listen, man, I want to use you. Do you have any deals on Matterport right now? Do you have any deals on 3D imaging? Okay. Find like 5 photographers that do Matterport, which is the virtual tour. And then what you do is you negotiate that. You probably can get a deal for like maybe $200. Get Matterport on the property. And so when the buyer calls you up, the agent calls you up, and you say, listen, I cannot do showings because they got family in there. Would you like me to do a virtual walkthrough with you and your client tomorrow at 2 o'clock? How many have done that before? Mr. and Mrs. Seller, what we do is we do virtual walkthroughs. So we will walk through your house virtually without you even knowing we are there while you have family. Would it be okay if we had people virtually walking through your house? Has anybody heard that before? Have you been told that before? Can you do that? Yes or yes? Guys, this is what separates you when you're talking to people with sellers. How do you do that, sir? I've never heard of such a thing. Right? All you do is you go to virtual Matterport. Well, I heard somebody outside. You go to the Matterport and you schedule a show. The buyer agents can be like, "Yes, thank you so much." What do you mean? You'll be there and you'll walk us through the house? Yeah, that's not a problem at all. We did this all the time during COVID. This is how we were able to stay in business. This is how we were able to still make money. How we were able to dominate really in the market because we couldn't go into homes. But I can get a photographer in there and I can go in there with my mask on and we just took pictures of the property, virtual tours. And then we go to Zoom and we do a screen share. Just like I did over here with Arch Agent. I just be like, all right, not a problem at all. Let's just go in here on my other screen. I got a virtual screen share and I'm now driving them through the house. And the seller thinks you're amazing because you are showing their property while they're there. And it separates you and elevates you when they're interviewing 3 other people. Okay. All right, it's 10:44. 10:44. I did a lot of talking. We got some artificial notes here. How do I get Otter AI notes? Yes, there you go. Latrice did it. You just hit Otter, and they will give you free version of that.
I got it.
There's a bunch of different notes you could take. You could just type in Google artificial intelligence note takers, and there's a lot of different programs that will do that.
I got Otter AI. I love it. And
Isn't it?
I figured out how to get it imported into my notes.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how it does it. I don't even know what it's called, Jay. But Jay, one of our programs, I want to call it Fathom, maybe. I don't know, don't hold me to it. But it literally will take our video recordings. Kind of like you watch, like who's got YouTube TV? Where now when you go to like the channel or you go to the TV, it'll say, do you want to watch a specific episode or do you want to watch a certain segment? It says start from the beginning, start from the segment or play live. Like you can go to segments now. And so we have that for our coaching. So if we had notes that says relocation, notes on relocation that you missed with Brock, it'll take you to the exact part of the video now in the recordings, and you don't have to listen to my entire nonsense. You can just go to that certain spot. I think it's fascinating to me. I was just at the Real conference in Vegas last week, and if you're looking for any notes, artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence. I mean, it's scary, but that's the cutting edge, and that's where a lot of people are leaning into, and heavy, big into industries, larger teams, and so we do a lot of artificial intelligence. So enough about that. Who's got a question for me? Anything else? My book is in here, Turning Scripts into Conversations. You can get it. We have different things with t-shirts and workbooks and everything else. But the book, go into it. You can also go to Amazon.com, Turning Scripts into Conversations. It breaks down my formula. It helps you at another level get these objections at the same token, using my book to help you with converting and communicating, listening to understand, not just to respond. So has anybody got anything? I like to ask for 2 takeaways, either something you got from it or a question. Come off of mute, let me know.
Any ideas how you would get a phone number into HR at one of those major companies like Amazon or Chiquita?
I would probably just do, one is I'd probably ask artificial intelligence. That's where I would first start. I would ask them, how do I get a human resource or a contact number for the relocation department in Amazon in your state or your area. Next, it would just be Googling. You could try 411.com, Spokio.com, or some of the other sources that we use. Anybody else got a question or anything that they have for me, or a takeaway? Got one more. Somebody's got to give me something. Nobody? Everybody was just like, I've already heard all this.
Well, I like your idea on attracting attention by getting ChatGPT to write an article on 1031 exchanges and then go to the Facebook groups, because there's a ton of them out there, and maybe you get somebody's attention.
Yeah. No, good point, Fred. That's a huge thing. Like a lot of times there's so many Facebook groups all that you don't realize there's opportunities. You can go, I mean, if you think about, like, I was a school teacher. If you go into some of these teacher associations, something that you're relatable to, maybe your previous job you were in some other industry, okay? You know what it's like. Like, I'm working with Christian on the financial side of things and how he's doing some stuff. I was like, listen, man, teachers don't know we don't know where our retirement is. I couldn't even tell you where to find it. I couldn't even tell you what website to go to. I don't even know what the percentages is. I don't even know if they're matching it. I have no clue. And most teachers don't. And so I was telling him, like, you got to just dive deeper. Don't go wide, go deeper on certain things that you got. If you're really good at 1031 exchanges, or do you want to become good at it? There's, like you just said, Fred, there's tons of Facebook groups. And use artificial intelligence, because that once you're like, okay, now I got the group, now what? You don't know what to put. But this will help you put something in there. And all you got to say is DM me if you have any questions. That's it. DM me if you have any questions. Text me if you want. Go ahead, Latrice.
I want to add to the Facebook groups as well. These are like gyms, because they do have some Facebook groups where you can pay, let's say $25, $50, like a small amount, and you're able to intentionally advertise or promote your business. And that's how a friend of mine has been getting like boohoo customers doing digital marketing. It's the same with us with real estate. We could advertise our company, with a little amount, let's say per month. They'll let you advertise maybe 4 times, out of the month. And that's the way you get business. And I would say 20,000 or more in that group. And you have to look to make sure that they're engaging and responding. But something I'm going to definitely look into as well.
Yeah, the group count is very good. Thank you, Latrice. Seeing the group size is very, very important. Like, you don't want to join a group and there's 319 people. I don't get it, Brock. I'm not getting anybody. Well, it's because there's only 319 people. Like, you got to go to larger groups. I mean, there's some large Facebook groups that got, 415,000 people in the group. Lab coat agents. is the first one that comes to my mind, but there's a bunch of them that have very large groups, and engaging with them also help you with your referrals. Okay, engaging in these groups, all like some of it is a lot of drama and it's annoying, so don't spend all day in it. But if you put in there 20 minutes of in your calendar, 20 minutes of Facebook engagement, go into some of these groups, answer some of these questions. One of the biggest takeaways I got from the conference also was your neighbor next door or next door neighbor, whatever website or whatever
Oh,
link that is.
nextdoor.com.
Nextdoor.com. It is a drama fest, basically people bitching, but supposedly there's a lot of business in there because a lot of people are going to it. And put some content out there, answer people's questions, become the go-to person. And somebody did it and really took it to the next level. Like they were in there like every day for 2 hours a day answering questions. She said she closed 19 sales last year just from that group. I was like, not what I enjoy to do, but I thought that was a pretty good idea, a different perspective of what that looked like. I'm one of the weirdos that like the FISBOs and expires. It's everybody's whatever flavor it is that you like, but some opportunity that might be there for you. So, but nextdoor.com is a good one to go to. Anybody else before I skedaddle, get out of here? We will make sure we get this information. If you got something from this, Jay, if you can put out there my Google review, I always like to ask for Google reviews. You have my book that's possibly there, but you can go to brockzevanreview.com. Let me know what you thought about my coaching program or my coaching that I did today. If I can help you in any way in my coaching, please feel free to reach out to me at brockzevan.com. I'll be back next Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Invite a friend, invite whoever you like, and look me up on Facebook as well, because I always like to connect and engage. And as always, we do our mindset show each and every morning at 8:15. I appreciate y'all. God bless you, and we'll catch up with you guys later. See ya. Happy Halloween!